Italy, officially the Italian Republic, is a unitary parliamentary republic in Europe. Italy covers an area of 301,338 square kilometers and has a largely temperate climate. Due to its shape, it is often referred to in Italy as l'Oste Vale. With 61 million inhabitants, it is the fourth most populous EU member state. Located in the heart of the Mediterranean Sea, Italy shares open land borders with France, Switzerland, Austria, Slovenia, San Marino and Vatican City. Since ancient times, Greek, Etruscan, Celtic, and other cultures have thrived on the Italian peninsula. Rome ultimately emerged as the dominant power, conquering much of the ancient world and becoming the leading cultural, political, and religious center of Western civilization. During the Dark Ages, the region suffered socio-political collapse amid calamitous barbarian invasions, but by the 11th century, numerous rival Italian city-states and maritime republics rose to great prosperity through shipping, commerce, and banking, and even laid the groundwork for capitalism. These independent city-states and regional republics, acting as Europe's main port of entry for Asian and Near Eastern imported goods, often enjoyed a greater degree of democracy in comparison to the monarchies and feudal states found throughout Europe at the time, though southern Italy would remain largely feudal until the 19th century, partially as a result of a succession of Spanish, Byzantine, Norman, Bourbon, and Arab conquest of the region. The Renaissance led to a flourishing of Italian culture, producing famous scholars, artists, and polymaths such as Leonardo da Vinci, Galileo, Michelangelo and Machiavelli. Italian explorers such as Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, Amerigo Vespucci, and Giovanni da Verrazzano discovered new routes to the Far East and the New World, helping to usher in the European Age of Discovery. Nevertheless, the Italian states' commercial and political power significantly waned with the opening of trade routes from the New World. As the New World imports and trade routes bypassed the East Asian and Mediterranean trade routes that the Italian city-states had long dominated. Furthermore, the Italian city-states constantly engaged one another in bloody warfare, sometimes forming uneasy alliances but ultimately failing to unify against outside foreign powers. The tension and violent rivalry among the Italian city-states culminated in the Italian Wars of the 15th and 16th centuries, a series of wars and foreign invasions that left the Italian states vulnerable to annexation by neighboring European powers. Italy would remain politically fragmented and fall prey to occupation, colonization, conquest, and general foreign domination by European powers such as France, Spain, and later Austria, subsequently remaining divided into various subjugated client states or territories of dominant foreign powers and entering a long period of decline that lasted until the mid-19th century. By the mid-19th century, a rising movement in support of Italian nationalism and Italian independence from foreign control led to a period of revolutionary political upheaval known as the Risorgimento, which sought to bring about a rebirth of Italian cultural and economic prominence by liberating and consolidating the Italian peninsula and insula, Italy into an independent and unified Italian nation-state. After various unsuccessful attempts, the Second and the Third Wars for Italian independence resulted in the eventual unification of most of present-day Italy by 1866. From the late 19th century to the early 20th century, the new Kingdom of Italy rapidly industrialized, especially in the north of the country, and soon acquired a small colonial empire, becoming a great power after centuries of foreign domination and political division. However, the southern and rural areas of the country remained largely excluded from industrialization, fueling a large and influential diaspora. Despite being one of the main victors in World War I, Italy entered a period of economic crisis and social turmoil, leading the way to the rise of a fascist dictatorship in 1922. The subsequent participation in World War II on the Axis side ended in military defeat, economic destruction and civil war. In the years that followed, Italy abolished the Italian monarchy, reinstated democracy, and enjoyed a prolonged economic boom, thus becoming one of the world's most developed nations. Italy has the third largest economy in the Eurozone and the eighth largest economy in the world. It has a very high level of human development and enjoys the highest life expectancy in the EU. Italy plays a prominent role in global military, cultural and diplomatic affairs and is also considered to be a major regional power in Europe. Italy is a founding and leading member of the European Union and the member of numerous international institutions, including the UN, NATO, the OECD, the OSCE, the WTO, the G7, G8, G20, the Union for the Mediterranean, the Council of Europe, Uniting for Consensus, and many more. As a reflection of its vast cultural wealth, Italy is home to 51 World Heritage Sites, the most in the world, and is one of the most visited countries. Etymology. The assumptions on the etymology of the name Italia are very numerous, and the corpus of the solutions proposed by historians and linguists is very wide. According to one of the more common explanations, the term Italia, from Latin Italia, was borrowed through Greek from the Oscan Vitelliu, meaning land of young cattle. The bull was a symbol of the southern Italic tribes and was often depicted goring the Roman wolf as a defiant symbol of free Italy during the Social War. Greek historian Dionysius of Halicarnassus states this account together with the legend that Italy was named after Italus, mentioned also by Aristotle and Thucydides. The name Italia originally applied only to a part of what is now southern Italy, according to Antiochus of Syracuse, the southern portion of the Bratian Peninsula. But by his time Oenotria and Italy had become synonymous, and the name also applied to most of Lucania as well. The Greeks gradually came to apply the name Italia to a larger region, but it was during the reign of Emperor Augustus that the term was expanded to cover the entire peninsula until the Alps.